All right, we are live today. Welcome back, everybody. For those of you who are awake earlier today, you saw my other video. I did a video today about the Black National Anthem at the Super Bowl. If you haven't watched it yet, please watch it. But today we're live with Mr. Clay Clark. I think this is like the 8th time we've had a conversation on my channel. Clay, welcome back.
Brother, did you say there is a Black National Anthem being sang at the Super Bowl?
Yep, in addition to the National Anthem.
This year they're going to do this?
Yep, they've been doing it since 2020, since the George Floyd, riots.
I haven't watched football at all.
Anthem.
I haven't watched football. I used to watch football every Sunday as sort of a way to rewind or relax or, kind of recalibrate every week. I used to watch the Patriots every single game. And since they started kneeling, I just cannot watch it. I have not watched a single NFL game or even part of an NFL game since the kneeling began. What are your thoughts on just the kneeling and the direction of the league?
I just think it's a disgrace and they're turning away a lot of people from the sport. I mean, I talked about this on Twitter and a lot of people are saying they no longer watch the NFL because of this very reason.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. Well, I appreciate you allowing me to be here with you today.
Of course. So what's on the agenda today for you, Clay?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to give people a couple big updates I think people need to know, and I would encourage everybody out there to assume that I've lost my mind and that I'm making this up. So if you go to timetofreeamerica.com, I have a button there called the VCrama Swami button, all right? And I made this button because VCrama Swami keeps showing up on podcasts and broadcasts and interviews and mainstream and independent media and debates. And he keeps saying the exact thing that conservatives want to hear. So I thought to myself, you know what? I should look this guy up. Now, the way I operate, and I know you do the same thing yourself, I decided I'm going to do my own research. So I want to give people some specifics, details of what that means. I go to DuckDuckGo, all right? And somebody could say I should be using Brave or Google, but I go to DuckDuckGo, I type in the person's name, and I go to page 10, and I work to page 1. I go to page 10, and I work to page 1. And as I begin finding things, I document my things. So if you go to timetofreeamerica.com, you just go to timetofreeamerica.com, and then click on the VCrama Swami button. You can follow along here. But I just thought I would let people know some of the facts I found, and I thought maybe people could ask the question, why is this true? So fact number 1 of 22, VCrama Swami at the age of 22, he advocated for the use of human-animal chimeras, merging humans with animals. Now, the only other guy I know in academia that openly praises this, who's in the public spotlight, is Yuval Noah Harari. Yuval Noah Harari, famous for the Gilgamesh Project, where they're trying to merge humans with animals. So I'd like to ask the question to you. I know it's your show, but I'd like to ask you, why do you think, or what are your thoughts on an idea of he's 22 years old? I mean, so he's evolved in his thinking since that time. But at the age of 22, why do you think he was advocating for the use of chimeras?
I don't know. That's really interesting fact. It's pretty little strange.
Now it's age 22, so things could change. So let's now hop forward to this year. So like in the past 12 months. Okay, so this is maybe he changed over the last 12 months. I don't know. Maybe he did. But at the age of 38, so 2023, his company, Roivant, lost nearly $1 billion. Now in 2022, it lost $1.1 billion. In 2021, it lost $698 million. In 2020, it lost $433 million. Now, again, the same year, this guy, Vivek Ramaswamy, he decides to team up with Pfizer. You know, the guys that Borla, the head of Pfizer, who speaks with Klaus Schwab at the World Economic Forum saying they're going to put mRNA, modifying nanotechnology, in all the vaccines. That guy, Pfizer, the funding engine of the World Economic Forum, he teams up with Pfizer. Pfizer, Travis Kelce, Chiefs, they're funding him for the, $20 million to make the commercial. It's Pfizer, Pfizer. Get your shot, Pfizer. RNA modifying nanotechnology, the core of the Great Reset, Pfizer. Vivek teams up with them. Love to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting facts. I mean, I think I don't trust Pfizer anymore after what they've done, with the whole COVID debacle. So that's definitely a bit of a red flag. But
Now,
keep
again,
going.
these are just questions. And again, maybe somebody says, you know what? I don't like facts. Well, let's continue. So my next fact number three. On October 2nd, 2017. So we're going back a little bit, folks. We're going back, 6 years ago? Vivek decided to invest in a company called Artibus. Artibus. Artubus. Artibus. And another company called Acuitas. Acuitas. And do you know what technology is in every single COVID shot? Oh, the technology of Artibus and Acuitas. So you know who funded their campaign using profits from every single shot put in the human body since COVID-19 happened? You want to know who funded their campaign with that? Vivek Ramaswamy. Interesting. Now, do you know who has a subsidiary based in China? Subsidiaries. It's like where you have part of your company is a division of your company is based in China. That would be Vivek Ramaswamy. You see, in 2022, according to SEC filings, Roivant, his company, has subsidiaries in China. Now, Adam, I'd ask you the question China is a country in favor of organ harvesting. That's where they go, Carl, we want your liver. Organ harvesting, a country in favor of forced quarantine camps, a country in favor of social credit scores, a country that gathers the Uyghur religious group that disagrees with the CCP, and they take them to a re-education camp. China. He's got subsidiaries in China. But that's maybe Adam, since 2022, maybe he's changed. So let's go back and look at where he came from. Did you know that his college was paid for by the Paul and Daisy Soros Foundation?
Yeah, I heard he got like some kind of $50,000 scholarship or something like that.
Yeah, like George Soros. That's his brother, Paul Soros. And you might say, Clay, that was in the past. Okay, I just went back last year, though, too. And you're starting to see a consistency of thought, are we not? Now, here's a fun one for you. In 2013, he's 28 years old. He tells he's being interviewed, and he says, hey, listen, I'm worth $15 million. I was worth $15 million before I graduated law school. And that, the interviewers were saying, well, how'd you do it, buddy? How'd you do it? He goes, well, I sold a company called studentbusinesses.com. They go, oh, really? You sold student businesses to the Kauffman Foundation in 2009? That's incredible. Now, he only paid $37,000 of gains taxes. So let's do some simple math. Let's say the capital gains tax was 10%, which it's not, but let's say it was. That means he had to have sold the company for $370,000 if he paid 10% gains taxes. He paid $37,000 of gains taxes. Well, if the gains taxes were 5%, that means he would have to have sold the company for $740,000. If the gains taxes were 2.5%, which they're not, that means he would have had to sold the company for $1.4 million. What I am saying to everybody out there, something doesn't work with the math. How do you pay $37,000 of gains taxes and you claim you're worth $15 million as a result of selling something? How does that work? Now, final question I would have, and I got so many questions, but I want to really put this into the brain of people, is Vivek Ramaswamy. This is not speculation. These are all facts here. He has decided to buy a company called Silicon Therapeutics. Now you might say, wait, what do they do? Oh, they have a technology called Vant AI, where they merge AI in a pill form, AI in medicine. So you know how you're hearing people right now, like Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI. He said that AI will ultimately cause universal basic income to be needed and will cause the great financial reset. Sam Altman. Elon Musk says AI will ultimately, Elon Musk has said AI is summoning the demon. Bill Gates funded OpenAI. Isn't that very interesting how these sorts of things don't get reported by the mainstream media, but yet for the very things that get many of my fellow patriots banned and shadow banned on social media, he being Vivek Ramaswamy, somehow is able to go viral nonstop, and he's praised by the pseudo establishment. Isn't that interesting? And now who is showing up at Trump rallies? Who's now showing up in the mainstream media, the conservative media? Remember when Trump ran for office in 2016? You remember that, folks? He came down the golden escalator. And remember how they paired him up, the establishment, paired up President Donald J. Trump with Mike Pence. Remember this? And remember how Mike Pence, He certified the fraudulent election, and he received a gold coin for doing so. If you haven't seen the video, folks, just go to Twitter, type in Pence coin, P-E-N-C-E coin. And remember how a lot of people said, well, the reason why Trump can't stop the COVID crisis is because Mike Pence has been put as the head of the coronavirus task force. Remember, a lot of people said, well, Mike Pence is the one leading the way. Remember how there was a man by the name of Mike Pence who certified that fraudulent election, thus nullifying the fair election results from actual patriots that went out there and voted? You know, the guy that certified that, Mike Pence. And many people looking back at it say, well, the reason why President Trump couldn't get a lot done is he was surrounded by people that didn't have his best interests. He was surrounded by the swamp that was put there by the establishment, right? AKA Mike Pence, AKA Deborah Birx, AKA Fauci. People, the swamp was put there to betray and mislead President Trump. Remember, folks, Bill Barr, remember Bill Barr? We said Trump at one point tweeted out, arrest somebody, because Bill Barr would not arrest anybody despite having the facts. Isn't this interesting now how most conservative pundits are now pushing Vivek Ramaswamy to be the ideal VP, a man who, I've only listed off, 5 of the 22 facts you can find at timetofreeamerica.com.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm definitely one of the people that loves Vivek a lot.
Yeah,
because of his campaign and things he said. But when you look deeper at his ties to big pharma, especially companies like Pfizer and the World Economic Forum and George Soros, it definitely raises a lot of questions.
Well, you know, he says exactly what I want to hear. I mean, if you were to say to me, Clay Clark, give me a candidate who says exactly what you want to say, a guy who deals with reporters the way that they should be dealt with, that's that guy. So I'm going to give people a couple of solutions that I have, and maybe this is a pro tip for business. I do well in the game of business, and I'll just give you a little pro tip here. There's a phrase in Latin called acta non verba. Now, I don't expect everybody to learn Latin, but the idea means deeds, not words. You know, so deeds, not words. That's what that means. Acta non verba. So it's let's watch what someone does, not what they say. So I'm going to submit to you a guy by the name of Mark Robinson. Now, Mark Robinson is a guy who happens to be the lieutenant governor of North Carolina. And I've watched this guy get absolutely shredded by the media for years for refusing to give in to the woke transgender agenda, for refusing to betray President Trump, for refusing to give up on the MAGA movement. I mean, this guy, Mark Robinson, that guy is a guy that over the last, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, I mean, I've watched him now for, more than half a decade, consistently say and do the right thing. Perhaps that would be a good idea to have someone like that in Trump's corner. Maybe you don't like Mark Robinson. I would say Ben Carson. I've interviewed Ben on my show. I've got a chance to know a lot of people that know Ben. Ben for 4 decades, 5 decades, longer than I've been alive. He's assembled a resume or a track record for doing the right thing. I would say Ben Carson might be a VP. But what I worry about right now is every year the NBA draft happens, and a lot of people say, oh, man, this guy could be the next Michael Jordan. This guy could be the next Michael Jordan. This guy's going to be the next Michael. He's going to be the next Kobe. He's going to be – and, the vast majority of those top 5 picks end up not being the next Michael Jordan. Yep. And I'd rather go ahead and find the Michael Jordan, the guy who's got the proven track record, and get him on my team. So I guess my message today is I encourage everybody, go to timetofreeamerica.com and click on the Vivek Ramaswamy button and look at every single fact that I've presented there and look at it. Because for me, Adam, it was very uncomfortable finding these facts because I found that he was saying exactly what I wanted to hear every time he spoke. And so that's my concern right now is President Trump is clearly going to dominate in New Hampshire. He's clearly dominating in Iowa. Amen to that. And people like you and your wonderful listeners are clearly not going to give up in their support of President Donald J. Trump. And I love that. My concern now is just making sure that President Trump is not surrounded by swamp creatures. And I just find it hard to believe that somebody who teamed up with Pfizer as recently as last year is not aware of the Pfizer agenda.
Right. No, I agree. It's definitely I'm going to go to Todd Free America after this and go to the Vivek button and check out what you've found.
Now, there's other things that are facts. November 9th of 2020. This is kind of scary. Vivek Ramaswamy's company Datavant sought to create a universal database for governments to display every patient in America who's been vaccinated or who's been tested. That's concerning. And again, that's Datavant. That was in November 9th of 2020. So you can look that up. Okay, folks, it's all there on the website. Also on July 9th of 2020, Vivek posted out, wearing a mask equals personal responsibility. It's public. He says it's puzzling when conservatives oppose it. And I quote, 2018, Vivek announced that he's launching a Beijing-based biotech company. That's very concerning. And I can go on listing out these concerning elements, but I think it's very important. I'm hoping people get three main messages out of today's show is one, assume that I am not a good guy. All right. And go look up the facts yourself. Okay. And especially when you like what somebody says, let's make sure we look up what they're doing. Acta non verba. Watch what people do, not what they say. Second is, if you're out there today, let's get behind President Donald J. Trump and let's do everything we possibly can to wake up people to the issues, because the person, Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, who is funding the rape case against President Trump. What? Yep. People say, I didn't know that. What? E. Jean Carroll is saying that she was raped by President Trump, which she wasn't, but she's alleging that, right? Her legal fees are being paid for by Reid Hoffman. And Reid Hoffman is funding Nikki Haley. Do you see what I'm saying, folks? So many people, I see so many conservatives right now going, oh, Nikki Haley's awesome. She's beautiful. I hear this is the words I hear. Adam, I hear these words from people in my office, in my life, at conferences. I talk to them. They say, this is what they say. They go, she is so beautiful. Well, let's say that she was beautiful or isn't beautiful. Does that matter? No, seriously. I hear people say.
I'll say that is irrelevant.
But people say it.
But she's an attractive older woman. I'll say that.
But people say it as though it's like a defining thing. I hear all the time people say, she's just so beautiful. Okay. Well, let's talk about the movie Forrest Gump. Okay. Now, somebody out there who's looked into Tom Hanks and Isaac Cappy, you might have a lot to say here. But let's just take the movie Forrest Gump. I think most people who watched Forrest Gump before the Great Awakening probably liked Tom Hanks movies. All right. So when you meet Tom Hanks in person, which I would highly recommend you don't, but if you did, would anybody here be shocked if he didn't talk like this? If he didn't say, hello, it's good to see you, Adam. How are you? Life is like a box of chocolates. Don't you know? But wait, Jen A, where's Jen A? I mean, if we would not be, we say clearly he's an actor. So he's clearly not Forrest Gump when he's not playing the part, right? Clearly, we're not shocked that he's not like emaciated, he's dying of starvation, and he's clearly not clinging to a volleyball named Wilson. We wouldn't be shocked because we know he's an actor. Well, you know that Klaus Schwab refers to the politician plants as actors. Do you know this? I mean, Klaus Schwab calls the politicians actors. He actually says those words, actors. So what if it is possible that we have good actors out there? I mean, and Brad Pitt, as an example, I think Brad Pitt has played a variety of parts in movies, but I wouldn't want him to be the leader of a military operation, although he's played that part, right? He said those words. Another example, Leonardo DiCaprio. So many people go, I love him in this movie and that movie and whatever. Well, why is Leonardo DiCaprio a member of the World Economic Forum? So we are in an era of deception. And we're seeing deception where people are actually playing the part that they are not to deceive people. And I just encourage everybody out there today, really, really pray about it, think about it, meditate about it. Look up what I shared with you today. It's an uncomfortable journey. I know, Adam, I'm the one who woke myself up to Vivek because I did my own research. I didn't go and ask somebody else to send me their research. I did my own research. And same thing with the shots. When the shots came out, I was the first person in my social circle telling people you don't want to take RNA modifying nanotech.
You know, the one thing I do want to say, what you just talked about was actors. And I always feel like, first of all, we've all heard about the casting couch, right? In order to get a specific role, you have to do a certain thing. And I've heard this even goes for male actors. A lot of male actors, I've heard rumors of John Travolta that he has been gay for pay. you do these gay acts to get Cassidy's major roles and have instant fame and instant wealth. Then I look at Taylor Swift, and she's been propped up by almost everybody in the system, right? And I feel like as long as you agree to be a mouthpiece for the party, her boyfriend Kelsey doing the whole Pfizer vaccine thing, as long as you're to go along, they'll keep you wealthy, they'll keep you rich. Just shut the fuck up and stay in line.
There it is.
And I feel exactly what's happening.
Now, I'm not going to get myself or you sued on today's show, okay, because the Reawaken America Tour, every one of our speakers, we're being sued or subpoenaed or whatever. But I'm going to tell you a story that is true, and I'm going to be vague so I don't get myself sued or you sued, okay?
Say the word allegedly.
Okay, and I'm not going to mention names either, okay? So I'm just saying, years ago, there was a person I knew very well, and they were aspiring to become a household name in their given craft. I won't tell you the industry, okay? And then one day, this person who was talented all of a sudden became a household name. And the person that I knew for a long time and I were talking, and I noticed a bizarre tattoo that was clearly satanic. And I thought to myself, wow, that's weird. Then I saw said person on Ellen often. Then I saw said person on Jimmy Fallon often. Then I saw said person teaming up with members of the World Economic Forum. Then, to my awe, again, I'm being very vague here, I saw, this is mainstream media reported, said person received income, publicly reported, of over $100 million, a one-time payment. Boom.
I know.
And then this person begins to advocate for climate change, lockdown.
Are the initials VJ?
No, but
okay.
I'm saying this happened though, and it's amazing how this person now is advocating for exactly the opposite morals and values that they always did. They always were very strong in their morals and values, and now this person is 100% aggressively going the other way. And this person is now a household name. If you threw out the name, every single person on your show would know the name. And I'm going, I cannot believe this happened to someone that I knew, because you always think about these things. Then I started interviewing people like Roseanne on my podcast, and people like Jim Brewer on the Thrive Time Show podcast, and people like Mel K. And they echoed what you said. They said to me, there's a certain level that you're allowed to get to, but then you have to do a certain thing to go to the next level. And I thought, no way. And then they go, yes way. And then I started talking with some people I met at the Reawaken Tour backstage, Adam, who are megawatt famous. And they go, oh, yeah, the person you're talking about, they're 100% on the other team. And I'm going, no, they are. They go, yes, they are. And this is happening. So what I would just say today is, if you have the courage, and I know your listeners do, if you have the conviction, and I know your listeners do, and you just want the truth, if you'll go to timetofreeamerica.com today, this is my challenge for you. You can name your price for our Reawaken America Tour events. Our final one is Michigan, June 7th and 8th. You're going to see Jim Brewer, Kash Patel, Eric Trump, Laura Trump, Peter Navarro. We've had Don Jr. on the tour. I mean, it is awesome. There's 70 speakers over 2 days. Alina Habba, President Trump's attorney, will be there. She actually took questions from our audience at the last one, Mike Lindell. And you can name your price. Octanon Verba. Watch what someone does, not what they say. So if you're out there today, I don't care where you're at financially. I grew up poor, but if you're out there today and you want to see this event, you just go to timetofreeamerica.com and you can name your price. You can name your price, timetofreeamerica.com. And then final thing I wanted to clarify is my good friend, Peter Navarro. Peter Navarro is the one who advocated. He was President Trump's chief financial advisor / economic advisor. So we talk about the Trump economy, lowering taxes, drill baby drill, deregulation. The guy who pushed that, who wrote a lot of that who wrote a lot of that language and pushed that agenda, is Peter Navarro. Now, Peter Navarro is 74 years old today, and he's going to be sentenced to prison in 48 hours. So January 25th, he's being sentenced. And you know why? Because he wouldn't betray President Trump. So we saw these other people flip. You saw people flip on Trump and say things that weren't true. These people took the deal. Peter Navarro won't take the deal. And he right now, as of right now, Adam, he needs about another $8,000 to fight this legal battle all the way to the Supreme Court. I've been working with him day after day, day and night, helping him raise money. And if you go to givesendgo.com, if any of your listeners can take the challenge, take the call to action, go to givesendgo.com/Navarro, givesendgo.com/Navarro, Navarro, givesendgo.com/Navarro. And if you'll donate anything at all, I'm talking $5, $50, whatever you want to donate there. This is the guy who, again, lowered the taxes. This is the guy who drill, baby, drill. This is the guy who did deregulation, who made the Trump economy boom. If you could donate anything to his legal battle, when you request a ticket at timetofreeamerica.com, you're entered in for a chance to win a backstage pass. And you say, well, how do I know I donated? You just take a screenshot of your donation at givesendgo.com, and you'll text it into my cell phone number, 918-851-0102, 918-851-0102. And then you can come backstage and meet Alina Habba and Kash Patel and General Flynn and Eric Trump and Jim Brewer and so many great patriots. Again, that's timetofreeamerica.com. Dr. Mikovits, Dr. Stella Emanuel, Dr. Richard Bartlett. We've had Alex Jones. It's going to be great. Our final event in Detroit. Again, we're going to have over 70 speakers over 2 days. You can name your price, but if you want to win a backstage pass, just donate anything at all to Peter Navarro. And then when you request a ticket, just text us a proof that you donated, and you have a chance to win a backstage pass. So a lot of information today, but I really do appreciate you carving out time for me, sir.
Always, Clay, and I appreciate you guys, everybody who's watching. I've been to about 5 or 6 different tours with Clay. And I got to say that all of his speakers are very accessible. You have a chance to meet them. You have a chance to talk to them. And it's a great crowd. So I recommend going if you haven't. Definitely check it out, timeofamerica.com.
You are absolutely a class act, and I appreciate you carving out time for me today. And again, everybody, I know I shared a lot of information about Vivek that's probably unsettling. It was for me, but look it up yourself. Assume I've lost my mind. Don't just trust me, folks, and look it up. I promise you'll have an enlightening experience if you go to timetofreeamerica.com and click on the VCrama Swami button.
Thanks so much, Clay. I appreciate you.
Take care, Chief. Bye-bye.
All right, see you later. All right, guys, and for those of you who haven't watched my video from earlier today, check it out. Make sure you hit the like button. I did a video about the Black national anthem being played at Super Bowl. I'm not a fan of that, and I think I made that point very clear. So go check out my latest video. I'm going to be filming a flag wave today for you guys. So I hope you guys are all having a great day. And as always, God bless Trump. Cloud, can you say God bless Trump? Sunlight, can you say God bless Trump? God bless Trump. What a handsome boy you are. What a pretty girl you are. Have a kiss. Good girl. All right, guys. I'll see you all in a couple days with a new video. Let's go Trump in New Hampshire. We need a win. Okay, here we go.